Dr. Anasuya, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's my pleasure.
So let's start by understanding, what is your startup all about? What is it into?
So the name of my startup is Nano-Safe Solutions. Nano-Safe Solutions is an IIT Delhi incubated startup. And we deal in developing antimicrobial based nano products, nanotechnology based products that has huge impact in the consumer segment as well as the industrial segment. For example, in the consumer segment, we have a 50 wash durable and antiviral mask, which is the Nsafe mask. And this mask has actually created a lot of impact from its launch back in May 2020. And then we have first of its kind antimicrobial water bottles. So we all heard about water bottles, right? But this is a special kind of water bottle. We use this hashtag, not a simple water bottle. So this is a special water bottle in which if you store drinking water, the water will be microbiologically clean in 30 minutes up to a period of 10 days. So that is the kind of innovation we brought in this particular water bottle. Then our recent launch is a zero alcohol hand sanitizer, which has proven to be effective against SARS-CoV-2. So this particular hand sanitizer is a zero alcohol based formulation, meaning that there will be no dryness, no itching. And this is a prolonged protection. So if you look at the market, normally we see alcohol-based sanitizers. So this will just evaporate away and gives you a temporary effect. After understanding the drawbacks of the present sanitizers, we formulated something that will be effective for as long as 24 hours. So we have this very innovative product, RubSafe. So this is our zero alcohol based sanitizers. So these are the three flagship products that we right now have in our consumer segment.
Tell us about your team, who are a part of it, and also tell us something about your personal journey into entrepreneurship.
I myself am an alumnus of IIT Delhi. I did my master's from IIT Delhi, and then my master thesis I did at University of Stuttgart. I was also a DARD fellow, so I spent my second year of my master's in Germany. Then I came back to India. I joined PhD at IIT Delhi, and during my PhD years, I researched. This is actually a spin-off. This startup is actually a spin-off from the research work that I did at IIT during my PhD tenure. So there I was, researching about antimicrobial materials and how this very innovative antimicrobial materials in its nano scale kind of bring about a lot of functional change in the product. So we were, researching upon silver, we are researching upon copper, and then zinc, and then titanium, and then a lot of other nanomaterials. And we were kind of trying to zero in what is the best possible antimicrobial effect that can be brought out in materials. And it is then we did a comparative study of all the possible types of nanomaterials. And then we realized that copper is a very good choice. Why? Because copper is also an essential micronutrient. So when we are talking about copper, it is as safe as you can drink in copper vessels. You can actually drink copper ions. So it is as safe as that. And it also have an antimicrobial effect. So basically, you are harnessing a material which is as safe as, it is as safe as a nutrient into an antimicrobial material. So that is why most of my products, actually all of my products, are based out of Nano-Copper technology. Of course, it's a patented technology. We have patented it now. And actually the platform technology in which Nanosafe is working right now has actually been developed in my PhD tenure. And this is an academic spin-off of the same research work that we undertook at IIT Delhi. So my motivation came from the fact that I did not want my PhD thesis to be just remaining as a paper-bound volume or just some published papers. I wanted to do something different about it. I wanted to take this to a next level. I wanted someone who can, just commercialize out this technology and give the goodness of this technology to the general public. But then I quickly understood that if that has to be done, the best person is me. I have to do it. So I took the challenge, and not many people, does it from a PhD thesis, because see, research is based on some different ideologies, and then business is totally different from this. And to mix both of them up and come together in a common platform is very difficult. So I thought that, I'll just give it a try. I'll try my best. That's what I began with. And of course, after that, we, kind of undertook several trials. And right now I'm very happy and very proud to achieve whatever we have done today.
It's very refreshing to see, researchers taking their research work beyond, the published book into business. So what were the challenges, when you decided to go from being a researcher to an entrepreneur?
Well, there was a lot of challenges, both on the personal level as well as the scale up level. So whenever we do something in the lab, we typically talk in milligrams or grams, and whenever, we are trying to bring that research into a commercial one, we are talking about kgs and tons. So whenever the production happens, magnifies to that level, a lot of technical issues come up. A lot of technical issues has to be addressed before taking that production to that level. So let's say if we use machines XYZ in lab, that machines won't be available in the commercial sector. So we have to go for ABC. Then we have to identify we have to extrapolate actually, what are the parameters to be fed into that ABC machine so that it can give me, let's say, CDF output. So that all, extrapolations, that all mathematical calculations, theoretical calculations you have to undertake. And not always does your theoretical calculations match perfectly with the practical scenario. Then we have to go back, do a little trial and error. And then, after a lot of trial and error actually, and this is all the more difficult, I'll tell you why. Because we are working with a nanomaterial here. And if I give you the complete scenario, not many in India are producing nanomaterials at a commercial level. Yes, you can find a lot of companies who are doing it at lab scale. We are typically, supplying it to labs for research purposes. But to make it in a commercial level is very, very difficult. And that is one huge challenge I had to undertake. And of course, I knew that, like I said, I knew I was the best person to bring it forward because I had all the technical knowledge that is required for the scale up. So I just needed to extrapolate that knowledge into something fruitful, into something productive. So that's what I did. That was one challenge that we had to kind of break through in the technical side. The other challenge is coming from an academic background or being an academician myself. I did not have that much business perspectives. I'm not an MBA, or I did not have any formal education of business. Some of the business terms I now also have to Google it up. So, that was the kind of knowledge that I started with or began with. And then I thought, in my very crazy sense, that I can pick it up once I, move forward. And that's what exactly happened. It's not rocket science. I kind of understood that this has to be done and then this has to follow and all that. So that was one personal challenge that I face even today. So even when I'm sitting with a bunch of MBAs from IIM, I'm still very conscious about what do they speak. I mean, they speak a different lingo altogether. But then, you have to have that adaptability or that flexibility to kind of understand or grasp very fast. So that is one personal challenge I had.
So in this journey of yours, what has been the role of BIRAC and how have they been of help to you?
BIRAC has been very fundamental in turning me into an entrepreneur. So BIRAC actually is that platform which bridges academia and industry together, in the truest sense, I would say. So when I was in the final year of my PhD and I was trying to find a very innovative career, I was trying to find something that is crazy, that is risky, I came across BIRAC and this BIG grant, Biotechnology Ignition Grant. And I found out that this is one platform or one podium, a very prestigious one, that will, kind of help you to take it to the proof of concept level. So you have something in lab and you want to scale it up, then BIG is the right grant for you, right? And I thought that I will apply to BIG, and I thought that I'll try my level best to secure this grant. And on a personal level, I thought if this goes all right, then I'm ready for this. It was like that. So after I got the BIG grant, in fact, this whole new world opened up to me. So during my BIG tenure, I conducted pilot scale trials, like I was telling you, trying to convert this nanomaterials from a milligram level to a ton level. So that was like a lot of trials. So during that trials, I came to know the feasibility that yes, it could be done. So during my BIG tenure, when I was undertaking these pilot scale trials and these commercial trials, I understood that yes, this is very much feasible. And that is where that spark of entrepreneurship kind of ignited in me. And that is where I thought that yes, I can take this forward.
The way BIRAC contributed to you was through the grant. Is that what it is? Or they also, involved with you in mentoring, helping you with, structure your business?
I did not receive any mentoring support from BIRAC directly, but I received mentoring support from their partner, BIG partner, which is FITT. So that is Foundation for Innovation and Technology Transfer, which is the industry interface at IIT Delhi. So at FITT, there are a bunch of people, very hardworking and talented people, who kind of mentor startups to structure their business models, to kind of fine tune the kind of dealings they have. So there from FITT, I still get a lot of support. I still get a lot of mentoring. So yes, so the mentoring part, I would rather say that FITT gave me a lot of platform, a lot of strategies.
Now, when you talk about nanotechnology, and also you're mentioning copper, how copper is a very good, it's good for to be used as nanomaterial, and it's also ancient science. As a layman, I also we also see a lot of ads on television, and I don't want to name the brands, but these days you see all the water filters coated with nanotechnology, and they talk about copper. Now, for the layman, can you help us understand how do you incorporate a copper material in the products that you manufacture?
First of all, I would like you to understand that there are two types of copper. One is bulk copper and another is nano copper. If you see a copper utensil or a copper plate or a copper glass, it is actually a copper bottle, in fact. So these are all bulk coppers. So the leaching of copper from these this kind of materials are not engineered. It means that the leaching will either occur very fast or it will occur very slow. There is nothing to control the leaching. Now, copper, of course, is an essential micronutrient, but everything has a permissible limit. So what happens if you store water in this copper bottles or in this copper vessels? The leaching is uncontrolled. So maybe you are taking more than what is required. So what we have done at Nanosafe Solutions is we have taken copper, we have put it in nanoscale form. Why did we put it in nanoscale form? Because at nanoscale form, it is most potent. We can engineer the application. That is why. So we took that nanoscale copper and we have made it into a plethora of different types of raw materials and intermediates. So if we typically talk about polymer or plastic applications, for example, the water bottles, we have put that in a polymer matrix by compounding method. So we have synthesized copper nanomaterial and we have put it in polymer via compounding to make a particular raw material or intermediate called master batch. And this master batch technology we use in the manufacturing process of the bottles. So what happens, the final material, which is the copper bottle, it will behave as an antimicrobial material, but a better antimicrobial material than a copper bottle, which does not have any other engineering aspect to it. So that is where we come in. We try to give a more innovative solution, of course, more cost worthy as well, and a more more beneficial to you rather than, just blind science. We kind of try to engineer every property. Yeah. And yes, copper has seen is witnessing a high demand in other antimicrobial applications, like in the water purifiers as well, because it has a very, it stems from the fact that it has an inherent antimicrobial activity and it is good for you as well. So nowadays copper is finding a lot of usage. I'm happy because, the other material, the other alternative is silver, and compared to silver, copper is much better. So if you are aware of copper, silver has a very toxic effect. It is very toxic to the human skins, to dermal cells, and it is a non-essential element. It means You do not need it. So if silver ceases to exist from tomorrow, nothing will happen to us. But if copper ceases to exist, then a lot of metabolical pathways might get hampered. So that is why copper is always a better material of choice. So that is why copper is more used in different types of applications, especially in applications you will see that it is edible or food contact. For example, drinking water. Yeah, so drinking water has to be absolutely safe, right? So that is why copper is more used there.
So finally, coming to the end, MyStartup TV is a channel for startups and MSMEs like yours. What are your thoughts about it in terms of the way we're creating visibility for startups?
It's actually absolutely delightful, I would like to say. In fact, not lot of TV channels do focus on this area, but you people are doing a very good job in bringing the startups to the surface. I'll tell you why exactly, because sometimes what happens in startups, we don't have a lot of funds to disburse for advertisements or something for publicity, and this is where we need the support from. We have the product, we have the technical know-how, we have a go-to-market strategy, but there is no funds, or no huge funds we do not have to make it common for all the public. And here, if someone comes and helps us, that is an utmost boon for us. So in that way, I'm frankly speaking, I'm overwhelmed that you people contacted us and you people took up the initiative by yourself to come to us. If we had come to you, it's a different story altogether. But the initiative that you people took, that we will identify startups and come to us, and of course through BIRAC, which is a very prestigious platform, is very actually very inspiring. In this whole startup ecosystem, that people are kind of helping us to grow. So that is what my thoughts are about.
Thank you, Dr. Anusha, and we look forward to hosting you in one of our shows in future. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.